Yesterday, I met with the wife of a hostage whose body has not yet been returned to her. And she said her son is struggling to process the fact that his father is dead. She's had it confirmed, but she said without a body, without a funeral, how can they move forward? She was pregnant when he was kidnapped, but she's now since given birth. She was pleading with me to do everything I can and everything we can on the Foreign Affairs Committee to use our voices to call on the Israeli government to do everything they can to bring the hostages home and the bodies as well. And we know that's a sticking point for ceasefire negotiations, for things moving forward. Why is it, in your view, that Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government haven't put further pressure on bringing the hostages and the bodies home?
I don't know. I've been asking myself this question every morning and every night when I go to sleep, and then every morning again. Why is it that they don't understand that there will be no healing process in Israel before the hostages are back? There will be no healing process in the region before then there will be an agreement to end the war in Gaza, and the only thing that will happen is that we will live again October 7th on daily basis. This is.
You said that you wish for peace between the two people, as do we all, and I think so too do the rest of the world. To get there, we do need to see this two-state solution. It has been kicked down the road for quite a long time. The situation in Gaza is perilous. The hostage families are crying out for an end to this. The people of Israel have suffered for a long time, and the Gazans are suffering daily. How do we get to the two-state solution if the Knesset are not willing to say this out loud or have this conversation?
Well, first of all, not all the Knesset, as you just heard. I think part of what is... It's interesting, there was a huge discussion here about Churchill because Netanyahu's followers said all the time, you see, he's the new Churchill, now he fought Iran. He was the one who said, when he was walking alone in the dark, saying Iran is the biggest threat, now the entire world understands, as Churchill did before World War II. And then some of us said, after the war, Churchill has lost the war, the election. And you know why? Because Attlee, he was very less impressive, had a plan for the future of England. We have a good plan for the future of Israel. And I don't know how much you follow Israeli domestic politics. I know, Uma, you know, Parliament member, I know you do more than others. In every poll in the last 2 years, they're going to lose this coalition. They're going to lose because they have no plan for the future of Israel. They're just selling fears all around. The world is in the midst of an international struggle between populists and alarmists and people who are just making sense and trying to build better future. And the only principle in politics that works is the pendulum principle. And the pendulum now is moving our way. So I'm optimistic about the possibility of a Knesset with a majority of people who are saying, yes, we want to have a better future for our children, and this better future includes peace with our neighbors.
Thank you. The view is really clear from when we were there, even though for a short time. A lot of the Israeli people, the general public, are quite tired of the situation, and they do want this to end. A lot of them have real sympathy for the plight of the people in Gaza, including some of the hostage families that we met who were worried about the women, the mothers in Gaza, and they've seen them struggling without food, without aid, without medical supplies. So there is a feeling in the Israeli public that this has gone on for too long. But the members of the Knesset that we met when we were there were unwilling to even see that point of view, and they were solidified in their mindset. How is the Israeli leadership, the politicians of the day, going to meet where their public are? Because there's no point with the general public protesting or speaking up if those in power aren't shifting anything. How do they get to a different point in this stage?
So the thing is, so you missed the part that I said, I'm not going to defend the government. And again, it's beyond my comprehension. Why is it they do not understand? And you know what? Why is it when talking to lawmakers from other countries, they don't show sympathy. Um, why is it that they don't feel it? This is the worst interpretation of Jewish morality. This is the worst interpretation of what is your duty as leadership. And I'm not going to spend my time or yours defending something I deeply believe is hazardous to the soul of my country. This is not what this country is all about. I mean, this is not why my father came here from the Holocaust to build a nation, and this is not why people fight wars, not to become a heartless country. We are a country with a heart in a difficult situation, surrounded by bitter but terrible enemies, fighting the worst kind of terror on daily basis. But this doesn't justify becoming like them. This only comes to emphasize the necessity and the duty to be different. And not everybody in our government remembered this.